what's up? It's Dominic D'Angelo of RVDTV.com and Brass Ring Media. But I'm happy to be back here with none other than Fonzie, Bill Alfonso, another episode of Right Down the Middle. Fonzie, good to have you here, man.
Hell yeah, good to be here. We got a lot to talk about, Daddy, especially Sabu and WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas. Bob Wire match. I was right there. So was Sandman. We're talking
You were more than
about
right
that
there.
later.
You were in it.
Oh yeah, I was in it. I got put through a damn plywood with Bob Wire. My wife freaked out. So did I a little bit. But it is what it is, Daddy.
Yeah. Okay, we'll cover that here in a second. But why don't you talk about that shirt you're wearing and what's about to happen soon enough here, huh?
Oh damn. Well, let me talk about this weekend coming up first.
Sure.
Uh, 90s WrestleCon. It's this Saturday, May 10th in Morristown, New Jersey. It's right. It's Minnham's Sports Arena in Morristown, New Jersey, which is about 20 minutes from Newark. I'm flying into Newark and going right to the building. It's going to be huge. Eric Bischoff, Ken Shamrock, Ron Simmons, Al Snow, Buff Bagwell, Sandman, my very good friend, the founder of ECW, Todd Gordon, and the girl with two big assets that I really like, Francine. She'll be there too, Daddy, and many, many more. So that's this Saturday. It's just like an hour and 20 minutes from Philadelphia. It's right across the bridge from New York City. So come check us out, Daddy. Come check the Manager of Champions out. May 10th in Morristown, New Jersey. 90s WrestleCon, Daddy. Come see me and all my superstar friends. Sandman to be there. I love Sandman.
Same as the best. He's the best.
Oh, okay. To get to this shirt.
Yeah.
Well, I had this made, and I had a half dozen of them made. We're gonna auction them off at the Bruiser Brody Fan Fest. It's the third one. SICW does it again with Fan Fest number 3, May 16th and 17th. It's in St. Louis, Hilton, right at the airport, right? You walk out of the airport, you can see the Hilton is going to be there for the 16th and 17th. All kind of superstars are going to be there, including me. More information, go to www.sicw.org. Get all the information, but it's going to be huge. And the fame we're talking about this picture. It's the famous Bruiser Brody Lex Luger cage match in 1987, and I'm calling it right down the middle. That's where the shirt came around, and
Heck yeah.
we're gonna auction off 6 of these shirts, and all the money goes to the Bruiser Brody Foundation, of course.
So the website again, Fonzie, it's www.sicw.org. Is that correct?
Correct. Get all the information there. But it's at the Hilton St. Louis Airport. You get off the airport, it's the Hilton right there on the damn airport property. And it's May 16th and 17th.
Oh, you can't beat that. Here, I'm going to put a little ticker on there.
FanFest 3, Bruiser Brody. He's the main guy. And also Arthur and photographer Scott Roma will be there. He's pretty cool. He's a really talented guy. He's going to be there, and a few more people that you're going to know. I think Sabu might come into that one with me. I'm not sure.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Heck yes. That would be super awesome. Shout out to Bobby Piscor, who made that shirt. He's a local.
Oh yeah, that's my boy. I love Bobby, and he knows you. He loves you.
Oh, he's the best. He actually trained my brother Marcus in the ring.
I talked to him today because I just got the shirts yesterday, and I called him up to thank him and all that. And we got a sponsor to pay for the shirts because we're going to auction them off, and all the money's going to go to the Bruiser Brody Foundation, which is probably his wife, which is very cool. I love her. She's very cool. So his wife, Bobby's wife, has this company, a t-shirt company. It's spectacular, man. We'll talk about that. I'll get some more information, and we'll cover her company. She's really badass. I'm going to end up ordering a couple hundred shirts from her this year because they're good sellers and really good quality. Really good quality.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you want to talk about Dark Side of the Ring for a second?
Let's do that. Yes. So Fonzie, you just told me you were all over the map with that one. It was Billy Jack Haynes, correct? Was that the episode?
Yeah, Billy Jack Haynes, I think it was released yesterday. There's Billy, there's Dory Funk Jr., there's Fonzie. This is in the early 80s, probably 82, 83, somewhere around there, maybe
Wow.
84. Uh, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got problems right now. God bless him. But Dark Side of the Ring, I'm friends with them because I did the Sandman episode. I think it was last year where they asked me about when Sandman almost died, his lips were turning blue. That's another big story. We'll talk about that if we have time. I love that story.
Oh,
But
I
I was
love that
on
movie.
Dark Side of the Ring with featuring Sandman. And then they asked me to do Billy Jack Haynes because they knew I worked with him and they knew we rode together a little bit and we were in the same territory for a couple of years. So, and that just was released yesterday, I think, on Vice TV, Dark Side of the Ring. And I'm on that. It's uh, getting interviewed by Dark Side of the Ring. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, pretty darn awesome. You've been, yeah. What do you overall? What do you think of the Dark Side of the Ring shows and stuff like that? People, I mean, they're definitely controversial, obviously, considering the topics covered and some of the content that's in there and everything like that. But overall, what overall your experience? How's that been for you? And what do you overall think of the show itself?
Well, it's the evolution of pro wrestling. We got a lot of stories where they go back for all the way back to the 80s and even the 70s. So, and they pretty much get their stories correct. I mean, it's some sad stuff, and they enlighten us on how the professional world of professional wrestling and the sports entertainment works and the ups and downs. Uh, and there's plenty of that. I mean, there's plenty of good stuff to go around, believe me. And there's a few things that have happened, and they cover it. It's real interesting, and they got a big following. They got a big following. People love it. It's like putting on TMZ or a soap opera or something. But and they're pretty much they call it right down the middle. I like them. I like them.
Yeah, it's a fascinating show. It's definitely like
Interesting, right? Fascinating.
it gives you a lot of the vibes of like those primetime shows, like Unsolved Mysteries in certain ways, and kind of that captivating stuff. And wrestling, pro wrestling itself, is such a fascinating and wild business. And then you add this obviously darker and somewhat and a lot tragic aspect to it all. It
And
definitely
that
paints.
and Dominic, that's not only in professional wrestling, that's in every sport and every
Absolutely, yeah,
different companies. I mean, you could be the CEO of the Ford or Chevrolet GM, and so all these problems still. We're only
absolutely.
human.
Yes, we're all human, exactly. And the I think the added element of it being pro wrestling and that whole just the environment of it all, and it being such an entertainment slash sports and athletic stuff coming into play, all that stuff being mixed in with it, and then you get that added tragic stuff that goes into it is such a fascinating thing to tune into and check out. And yeah,
And what
those.
a big market too, man. I mean,
Mhm.
the sports entertainment, pro wrestling is a huge market. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Just ask Triple H, Daddy. He's on the top of his game, but putting on some good stuff. And look at us. I'm doing a podcast with you, Dominic. It's going worldwide. I get people from all over the world watching us now talking about professional wrestling. I talk about the good stuff. Very rarely do I talk about the bad stuff, but one day we might. And
Yeah, yeah,
anybody's got a question, hit us up.
hit us up. Yes, we're live here. So if you're tuning in, rvdtv.com, be sure to like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you get the word out about that and help support the show in that way. But if you guys have questions, feel free to ask them. It always helps to use the super chat. But just pop a question up in the chat, whether you're on X or you're at rvdtv.com, and get your questions in right now for Fonzie. We got about an hour that we're going to go, and we got a lot of good stuff to cover. Partially too, Fonzie, you talk about wrestling being worldwide, being well known. You mentioned it a little bit. You were there WrestleMania weekend in Las Vegas. So was I. It was great to see you. Great to see Sabu. Great
Yes,
to see RVD. So many people. And why don't you initially, before we talk about your big event here with the Sabu and the GCW, how was your overall weekend at WrestleMania?
It was fantastic. I was there for 5 days. I flew in the day before. They had the largest WrestleCon in the world, WrestleMania weekend. People come from all over the world. It was Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a 3 day WrestleCon. Can you believe it? And it
Yeah.
was jam packed from 10 a.m. till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. People from all over the world. And there was so many vendors and so many former superstars and current superstars there. Flair, everybody was there, including me. RVD was in the next one. There were so many of my friends that I've worked with throughout the years. It was very cool. I had a great time, created a little bit of revenue, which is always a good thing, and got invited to be a part of the GCW in Sabu's last match. And that Bob Wire match was fucking crazy. Can I say, can I do a little profanity?
Oh
Excuse
yeah,
me.
you're a-okay. Yeah, we're past
All right, I
10 minutes.
usually don't
You're
say
good.
that, but it was fucking crazy, Dominic.
It was
Sabu was
crazy.
crazy. Oh my
Oh
god.
my gosh. So yeah, let's talk about it. Let's get into it a little bit.
That
Yeah,
GCW is an extension of ECW, but just I'd say a lot more hardcore. I mean, these guys are fucking nuts out there. But there's a Dominic, there's a market for it. People love it. There was 3,000 people at this arena that we were in, and Sabu's in the main event. They put up the barbed wire, and here we go. The matches before was sensational. I said, "Damn, how are we gonna follow that?" But we did. Sabu was great, man, and that they didn't know I was going to be there. So Sabu's opponent went out, who's really hardcore and badass, and I love him. Thank you so much for being a big part of Sabu's one of his last matches. It went so well. I don't know if that's going to be his last match. To tell you the truth, Dominic.
right,
Oh,
right. Sabu, he was it was so neat because he comes out in a suit and it's like it definitely like he looks like Sabu. He's got the he's good, he's in great shape and got himself into good shape for all this stuff. And he him and Joey Janela, they went toe to toe and wow, what some wild incidents in this match. Like Sabu going through that plywood and through the ring, like after past like the barbed wire broke, he hit the floor in what was a memorable spot there. And
yeah,
man,
I thought he cracked his head open. We all did because when he went through that second rope, his back
uh-huh.
hit and he hit the ground on his back, and I thought the back of his head hit and got split open because I think he was stunned. I think he was actually knocked out for a few seconds there for sure. But I said, "Damn, this thing is over." But he crawled back in and kept going. Man, it was crazy.
It was crazy. And then sure enough, you get involved, you come out. I so the funny thing is I knew you were gonna be we obviously talked before the show and I knew you were gonna be on it. And so when Sabu came out, I'm like, where's Fonzie? I was like, did he get sick here? I just saw him. And I was like, I don't know what happened. And sure enough, you were later on a surprise coming on out. And it wow, like the crowd popped big time for you.
Oh
And
yeah, I got a great reception. I was so pleased. I was so thankful that I got not a standing ovation, but a big Fonzie chant, and they loved it. And I went out there and did my thing. I got involved, pie faced the hell out of Joey, and then I ended up getting my ass put through a I guess it was a big, big piece of plywood, the largest, the 8 by 10 or whatever they are. It was all laced with barbed wire. I don't think I was meant to go through there. I didn't know I was going through there until the last minute. Actually, the guy snatched me up and just fucking power bombed me right through it, and
wow.
somehow I survived and got a big gash on the back of my leg and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah,
But
yeah, you showed it to me. I was like, holy smokes. But yeah, I
But
was
nothing like Joey and Sabu, man. They were damn sliced open all over their body. I thought they'd get, the first Bob Wire match, it was Terry Funk and Sabu at the ECW Arena back in the 90s, mid 90s.
yep.
And Sabu ripped his bicep from his elbow all the way to his shoulder, and it was about an inch wide. Sabu went into shock. He looked at it and said, "Oh, oh," he was going into shock as his damn meat was hanging out. Uh, and he said, "Fonzie, give me some tape," and we taped him up. So everything that happened in that first barbed wire match with Terry Funk was amazing. So was the one in Las Vegas. Sabu has not lost his touch. He's really the king of hardcore. When they refer to Sabu as suicidal, homicidal, genocidal, it's true, Daddy. It's
Look,
true.
Sabu, undoubtedly, he should be in every pro wrestling Hall of Fame. Like, There's no doubt about it, I think, because you think of what his ability, like me and Rob were talking about this last week, was just like how he learned the foundation of wrestling through the Sheik, and like just the wrestling aspect of it all and like the legitimacy of it all. Like him going through that, but then Sabu being able to kind of transcend and innovate and do these different things that only we saw Sabu do originally. And so, and then him to be one of the, I would call him on the Mount Rushmore of ECW, Sabu, for sure.
Oh, no doubt, no
Mm-hmm.
doubt. Him and
And
Rob for sure.
yeah, absolutely. And so for him to do that and then just be this talent that is like so ingrained into the business, I honestly, like, WWE should really induct him into the Hall of Fame, and he should be in every Hall of Fame, in my personal opinion. No doubt about it.
He was the innovator of violence. Abdullah and the Sheik, Sabu's uncle Eddie Forehead,
Mm-hmm.
were kind of the originators, but they weren't as hardcore and not as crazy and um, hardcore as Sabu. You know. Hey,
Yeah,
speaking of hardcore, I get a friend of mine. He's a CCW superstar. He holds a couple of belts, a couple of different organizations around the country. He's going to be my guest, Alex the Body Daddy, and he's badass. I can't wait to bring him on. We'll bring him on later. He's really cool. He's got a great body, and I like him. I might be doing a show. You know that, Dominic, the company is a new company. There's a rap star.
oh yes, West Side Gun, the fourth
Right,
rope, the
right.
fourth
What's the
rope,
name of that company?
the fourth rope.
Oh yeah, that's exactly it. So my guy, Alex the Body, he's really badass. He's got a friend that's involved in that company somehow. So I've been talking to the Body, and we may go up there, we may not. We're gonna see. We're gonna try to get a deal with them, and but I know he's gonna do really well. Anywhere he goes is really hardcore. He's badass. You're gonna love him. We'll bring him on a little bit later, Dominic.
Oh, okay. I can't wait. Yeah. Well, I'm excited to learn more about him and kind of get your guys' connection going here a little bit. But real quick, I did want to ask you. So, when did they ask you, GCW, to be on the show with Sabu? When did this all kind of transpire for that?
I would say maybe 2 or 3 weeks out, I get a phone call from
Brett Lauderdale?
Brett, who's
Yep.
really cool, and I've worked for GCW a couple of different shows throughout my, the last few years, and they like me. So I get a phone call. He said, "Fonzie, Sabu's having his last match." I say, "Yeah, it's in Las Vegas. I'll be there for the WrestleCon." He says, "Fonzie, we can't have the last match without you being there." I said, "Okay." So I said, "Great. So I'm invited. You want me to come?" He said, "Absolutely." So that's how that came. He's really a cool guy, and I'm grateful that they let me be a part of that huge show. 3,000 people. The venue kind of remind me of Hammerstein Ballroom,
Absolutely. Yes.
but a little more updated. It was pretty fucking cool. And the people were on their edges of their seat the whole night. It was spectacular, man. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. These guys are really hardcore.
And how awesome was it too? Sandman coming out, Metallica Enter Sandman. The crowd was going nuts for that. That was such a great moment too. During Sabu's last match.
They did not know that I was going to be there, the fans, and they
Yep.
did not know about the Sandman. Once his music hit, it all related, and the people went fucking nuts. And Sandman took his time coming out and got his big pop and came in there and did a few things. That's what he does now. People were really cool, really excited to see the Sandman, and kind of was like an East. That last match was kind of like an ECW atmosphere in
Oh yeah.
GCW.
Absolutely.
If I could say that in the same sentence.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Hey, I think Matthew Justice was there too, wasn't he there?
Yeah, Matthew Justice was there, but he didn't work the same show I was on. He worked. It was a show after they ran two
Oh,
shows that night. The GCW show, which started at, I'm not sure what time it started, like 7, and
yep.
we did a 2-hour show, and then there was
I think it was the West
maybe
Side Gun show.
a 45-minute break, and then the other company came in. That's what Matthew Justice was on.
Okay, yeah, because I remember seeing him briefly, like backstage, and I was like, "Oh, hey man, how are you?" It was pretty
Yeah,
good.
and he's my boy. I started working with Matthew in AIW for John Thorne out of Cleveland. I've been
Yeah.
going up there for 5 years and I've been managing him. Now he's going all over the country. He's a big fucking star and he's really hardcore. So, uh, and I still work with him. I just worked with him 2 weeks ago in AIW in Cleveland for John Thorne. That we had a big show up there right outside of Cleveland. They do really well. They run every month, one show a month up there, and I'm usually on all of them, but unless I'm in Las Vegas for WrestleMania weekend or something like that. But I'm usually on all those shows, and Matthew's on a lot of them too.
Heck yeah, he's great. He's great. We'll bring on our special guest, who's also great too. Here in just a second, I just want to take one question here that I saw that pertained to Sandman. Let's see if I can find it here.
Pertains to my boy, the Sandman, who I
Oh,
love, and I'm going to be with him this weekend. 90s WrestleCon this Saturday, May 10th, Morristown, New Jersey. Me and Sandman and Todd Gordon, Francine, Eric Bischoff, Ken Shamrock, and the whole so many guys, the headbangers, Al Snow, Ron Simmons, Francine, Buff Bagwell's going to be there. A lot of cool people, including me and my boy Sandman. So, what's the question, Daddy?
yes. So the question is from Triple E. Here, let me bring it up here real quick.
Hey, Triple E, that sounds like a wrestling company in Mexico.
It doesn't to Triple E. He says, any stories of the Sandman from Mania weekend? Besides the one when we saw him at GCW, obviously, but you hung out with Sandman a little bit too during
Oh, I
WrestleMania.
hung out with him a lot. We were at the WrestleCon from 10 to 3 o'clock every day for 3 days. And of course, we went out and gambled and ate at, I forget the name of the damn place we ate at, a famous steak place. Damn it, name of the famous steak place in Vegas.
Ooh, I don't know. We went to the one steak place during Cauliflower Alley. Was we had steak there, the prime rib there, but I
Oh
can't
yeah,
remember.
that was really good. So, but anyway, me and Sam hung out, had a few cocktails, and telling stories, and people loved it. We're real good with the people, and Las Vegas was full of people from all over the world, wrestling and sports entertainment fans, and they loved us walking around. And I had my ECW jacket on, like one of these that I wear when I go do these WrestleCons and stuff. People identify me. Uh, so we got a lot of attention, and we put everybody over that we talked to. People loved us. The fans loved us, man. We're gambling. People come up to want to take pictures, and of course, me, I'd ask them where they're from and say, "Oh yeah, I've been there," and I name the name of the building and so on, and it was pretty cool. Sandman's a great guy, man,
Oh,
and
I
he's
love.
the people love him.
Yeah, absolutely. It was neat too to see Sandman. Sandman came up to Kevin Nash and stuff like that, and they were hanging out for a little bit at WrestleCon, and that was a lot of fun to see too. He's one of the best. I love Sandman.
Yeah, he ended up giving he sells those Singapore canes at the WrestleCon. The people identify him with a Singapore cane.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Uh, and he sells them, and he had some left over on Sunday, and we were walking around and people come up and he was signing them, giving them away. He sells them for like $100. So he gave away a lot, made a lot of new friends giving away the Singapore canes.
Dude,
People
I believe.
loved it.
Yes.
People
Oh,
loved it.
Sandman's the best. He is the
Didn't
best.
give me one, but I should have one in my office.
I owe you an IOU Singapore cane.
Yeah, sad man. All right, enough of you.
All right, let's bring on the guest. We got Alex
Oh,
HK, the body, huh?
all right. I'm gonna line the camera up so I can kind of interview him. Tell me if you can see us both, Daddy.
All right.
How about me?
Yep. See
How
both you
about my
guys. All
boy?
right.
How about my boy? You got a full. Can you see him really good?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're a okay.
All right, let me introduce. Hey, I'm the manager champion, and I love this guy. He's hardcore. We're gonna ask him why they call him the body, and if in this interview. But man, you are doing things around the state of Florida that nobody has been doing. We just had the Bill Alfonso Hardcore Tournament, CCW in South Florida, and he was one of the 8 participants in the tournament, and he came this close to being the Bill Alfonso Hardcore Tournament. He got fucked a little bit, but Man, he's really badass. He holds a bunch of different belts around Tampa Bay. Tell us about this belt.
It's the IWA Florida Heavyweight Championship. This weekend I'll be defending it Friday and Saturday in Vinoy Park in St. Petersburg.
Oh, Vinoy Park's badass. Yeah, big crowds will
Ooh.
be there.
IWA Florida State Champion as well.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Alex making the tours, man. He's doing really good. So I hopefully that thing works out for us in Chicago. Is that the rapper guy based out of Chicago?
Yep. Oh, well, yeah. West Side Gun. He's originally from Buffalo, but I think he might maybe hit the show is going down in Chicago then that he's having.
I think I don't know if that's where the office is, but that's where the Body's guy is, his connection, and we might get in there. And I would damn sure manage him because he fits. I wish he would have been in ECW back in the 90s. He missed it by a couple of decades, but
I was watching it though.
yeah, he's a student of the game.
Influenced me.
He's a student of the game, and he loves the wrestling business and sports entertainment business. Hey, why do they call you the Body?
Body?
Yes.
Let me show you one here.
All right, Daddy.
Ain't nobody in the business have a better body than the body. Nobody works in their body more than the body. The body knows, though. He's aware. He might not have the biggest muscles, but he has the toughest muscles.
He's ripped, Daddy.
But that's not just it. It's a vibe. It's an attitude. I got it. And if I got the attention of Bill Alfonso, I'm doing something right, baby.
Hey, and you know I choose winners. RVD, Sabu, Taz, Matthew Justice. I surround myself with winners, and the Body is definitely a winner.
I see it, man.
Fonz.
I see
Check
it.
this body out. Check this face. Might be coming to a town near you, baby.
Hell yeah, Daddy. He's at Vinoy Park this weekend defending his belt. So a lot of stuff going on. What do you think, Dominic?
I love it. I love it. What a tandem you guys are. I'm excited too to see get a little bit more info about you too, Alex. So you grew up a fan, huh? Who are you heavily influenced by as a kid? And then when you got into wrestling, who kind of influenced you a little bit more from a wrestling standpoint?
Okay. As a teenager, the Body was obsessed with wrestling. Of course, WWF was my main focus. I backyard wrestled. My friends Elliot and John. What's up, Elliot and John? With the HWF, my federation. And then I heard something a little Elliot told me about a company called ECW. And of course, the first guy he talked about was Rob Van Dam. Checking the show out. I don't know if it's a video, a cassette, or a VHS. We all just started getting every single pay-per-view. I went over to Elliot's house watching them. Bill Alfonso, my friends.
Hell yeah.
Love Bill. Love Fonzie. Copying his daddy talk. And so I was actually in Pine Bluff, Arkansas for one of the last ECW shows ever done. So it's a very big honor. 20s wasted my life. 30s got my life in order. And I had to finish my dream. I had to finish my dream. I moved down here, started training with Matt Seidel a little over 4 years ago. The rest is history. Somehow I'm standing here with Bill Alfonso. Fonz, baby.
Yeah, he fits right in. I think if you see some of his stuff, I'm going to send you some of his matches. Pretty hardcore. He would have fit right in ECW. He might have been the television champion once Van Dam left, though.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Much respect.
So, Alex, so where are you originally from then? Where are you based out of originally?
Little Rock, Arkansas. Born and raised. Mm-hmm.
Wow, okay.
My entire life. Moved here over 4 years ago. Moved my family down here. New opportunities. And I knew it was a hub for professional wrestling where the big boys play. So found Matt Seidel, and it's off to the races.
So when did you start training and everything? How old were you, and like how'd you make that connection?
I got into the game a little late. I was 36 or 37 when I started training. I'm 40 now.
Oh, good for you.
It's been a hell of a time period in the industry. I had a connection from Little Rock. He's in the fitness industry. I said, hey, do you know of any good schools? And he just pointed me to Matt's. And I think it was written in the stars, so I couldn't have found a better trainer than Matt Seidel. He's really prepped me for the industry for sure.
Absolutely. What did he really instill in you, Matt Seidel? What kind of like training aspects? Because he's such a different. He's like a high flyer, has all these different styles. But how did he kind of incorporate and tailor it to you and what your body type is?
Matt's wrestled all around the world for every major company. He can wrestle anybody, any style. He is a athlete to the 100th degree. So he takes it very seriously with, the technical wrestling, how to wrestle each person differently. Of course, I wanted to do all the crazy stuff. And he was like, Alex, just do this, just do that. It'll come eventually. So he kind of had to, rein me in a little bit and guide me. And it's done wonders just listening to Matt.
What wrestlers did you go back, watch some tape, see who you kind of tie into and who you've kind of patterned yourself a little bit after in certain ways from an in-ring style standpoint?
People asked me that before too, and I was, I'll say my favorites when I was growing up and who I kind of modeled myself after, I guess. But really, it's my own kind of what I think's cool, and it's really based on the Attitude Era, ECW. Growing up, my favorite was like Triple H, the Hardy Boys, and ECW. Of course, Rob Van Dam, Sabu, Mike Awesome. Perry Saturn was a big influence. But when I got into the business, I was a little bit bigger. I was hairy all over, and I kind of modeled myself after Randy Orton. I wanted to look perfect like him every time. Muscular, ready to go, always ready. And so that was the process of turning into the body these past 4 years, really, was kind of looking at him.
What have been some of your favorite matches that you've gotten to have so far in your career?
Some of my favorite matches, I actually had a hardcore match with one of my good friends, Tony Twist. We did that in Fergs in St. Petersburg. Absolutely amazing. Also wrestled him in Manatee County. Those are probably my two favorite matches. Of course, in CCW, I've got to wrestle the main event, Monster Fulton. It was featured on CC Live TV. That was a great CCW Live TV. Wrestled Gangrel not too long ago. Excellent experience. They're all really good. The hardcore tournament was a huge milestone success, and I was very honored that Fonzie asked me to be in his first hardcore tournament. I could not believe it.
Hey, Dominic, one of the reasons I like the body so much because he's 4 years into the business. His body's still fresh. It's not all beat up, and he looks fucking great, Daddy.
Ready to go, baby. Speaking of that tournament, though, I got to shout out to Ozzy Killmeister.
Oh, yeah, Ozzy. He's a CCW superstar. Most CCW, all three of us. Ozzy's badass. He's big time in CCW, Coastal Championship Wrestling.
He is badass, and congratulations to Ozzy winning the tournament. But you're ducking the body because everyone with two eyes knows that I'm hardcore at CCW, and I'm not going to rest until that championship's around the waist of the body. Ain't that right?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, man. Pretty cool, you and Ozzy.
Hell yeah.
Stars.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I like him. We get along pretty cool. We met. How we met was, the Rizzler, the guy.
Oh, there is, yeah.
Yeah, he had like 10 million hits on YouTube and all these places.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Hospital guys, yeah, they did TV and David Letterman's and all kind of. Anyway, CCW called us up. We live in the Tampa Bay area. He said, "Hey, we want you guys to go meet this kid called the Rizzler, and we're gonna push." And I took the CCW belt and all that. It was pretty cool meeting those guys. So that's how we met on the set, doing some promos and stuff with the Rizzler.
Wow! How about
boom?
And he's all over wrestling too. The Rizzler. He's in
This is right before they blew up. Jimmy Fallon, AEW, the whole 9 yards. We met him first and made a video, and it kind of jump started their.
Yeah, I posted on my social media and got 100,000 hits. In a couple of days. It was pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's how we met, and we've been friends ever since. We kind of click, you know what I mean? We both love the wrestling business. I think he can be a champion anywhere he goes. Of AEW, WWE, AIW, the company I work for, or CCW. He's just ready to go. He's fresh. And he's hungry, Daddy, and he's really cool. He's my friend. We get along. He's fucking fantastic.
The body stinks.
And he's my neighbor. He's my neighbor. He lives right down the street.
Oh, you can't beat that.
I see him at the gym all the time. We both got 6-packs, Daddy.
Look at that. Yeah. Hell yeah. Rocking it.
Hey, that's the life, baby.
Right, Alex. So what has been like the biggest challenge for you getting into it, in your 30s and stuff like that? What has been some of the speed bumps and certain things that you've kind of had to adjust to at your juncture?
I was just, being new to the business, it's learning the business, learning how to carry yourself, how to just operate within. I guess that's kind of the learning process you have to go through. As far as the wrestling, I've always enjoyed jumping off stuff and doing that type of physical activity. So it's really just learning how to become a professional in professional wrestling, really. And I've been so lucky to have a lot of opportunities to meet a lot of amazing wrestlers in this area and work with them and get to meet Fonzie. So it's really helped me out a lot and propelled me faster than I thought I would. And it's a blessing. So I feel like there's something there, and I'm just going to keep going until I can't walk no more, basically, or until something happens. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of guy that don't stop. Once I'm into something, you ain't gonna stop me, dude.
Well, what else? Have you pulled stuff from outside of wrestling too to kind of help influence your character, persona, your identity, kind of a little bit too? Is there certain aspects that have influenced you?
Of course, I grew up as a skateboarder too, so I do like kind of extreme things. Always was in the ECW, Cactus Jack Deathmatch. I had that as a kid. Ordered it from our video, stuff of that nature. Um, Characters that influenced me. Um, there's a movie there's a movie called Kung Fu Hustle.
Yeah, I remember that movie. Yep.
The bad guy, the Beast. One of
Okay.
my favorite things is when he shows up wearing the suit jacket. He's got that long string of hair come down. He's just so badass looking. Some old man, but he's gonna mess you up. You know what I'm saying? So like his demeanor is kind of something I look into just to it a tad bit. I've always liked the Beast from Kung Fu Hustle.
Oh,
And
that's
then
awesome.
music, like I can't get away from music. Of course, I was into all the new metal and the heavy metal that influenced ECW and made that type of attitude. And that's what's kind of carried my attitude in today's age because I still listen to that stuff. That's I'm gonna put stories on my or I put videos on my or songs on my stories or posts. I'm not just picking cool stuff that I think that would be cool. It's what I'm listening to in the cars, what I'm listening to in the gym. I really do think it's the music that influenced me a lot too and keeps me crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. No, that is such a impactful part of pro wrestling is the
The music
music.
in ECW was the cool part too. That's what
Right?
brought us
Yeah,
to
it was the
exactly originally because, of course, all the Attitude Era music was awesome, but then like ECW had the real music. So
right.
you already knew the songs, you identified with them. Sandman came out, you knew it was an epic entrance. Rob Van Dam's. One of my favorite songs ever was actually Rhinos. It's by a band called Dope Debonair, and
Uh-huh.
the lyrics to that song kind of define me as a person to an extent, to be honest with you. I still listen to that when I want to get hyped in the gym and stuff of that nature.
What's your current ring music? What do you usually come out to?
It's changed. I did come out to Motorhead when I first
Yeah.
started. It was a song called Love Can't Buy You Money.
Uh-huh.
I changed recently. I'm coming out to just a guitar guy named John Five. He's the guitar player for former Marilyn Manson, then Rob Zombie. Now he's in Motley Crue, but he has a solo album, and the song's called "Damaged," and it's just him shredding, and it's excellent. So
Oh
John
yeah.
Five, "Damaged."
Oh yeah. All right, guys, look it up. I'll add a link too in the comments down here too coming up. What else did I want to ask? Oh, were you an athlete in high school? Did you play any sports or anything to that effect, or what did you do?
Yeah, I did. I grew up playing baseball. When I got into high school, I continued playing baseball up until my senior year, and I played football as well. I enjoyed baseball the most. That's what I wanted to do when I was a little kid, be a professional baseball player. But I started playing football, and I started liking the physicality, the hitting, the tackles, So football became my favorite. But that was just in high school. But I ran track and field, ran hurdles. I've always been able to jump kind of high. I can still see the kid there.
Daddy,
I
a
can still-
natural athlete. He's got it
I
all.
did skateboarding, if you would call that sport athlete.
Sure.
Yeah, Daddy.
You know,
As Tony Hawk.
footwork, jumping down stairs, crashing and burning. Trying tricks over and over again until you get them. That's part of the allure, and that's kind of like pro wrestling. You just got to keep doing it and get up and do it again. Until it works. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this. It seems like an obvious question, but did you pick up pretty naturally in the ring? Was it pretty quick for you to grasp hold of, or did it take a little bit to kind of get adjusted to that, even though you are a very athletic person?
Yeah, it's strange. I've watched it my entire life.
Mm-hmm.
So when we started learning something, at first it's a little shaky, but I was like, okay, that's how you. This is what we're doing. I've done this before ever, and so with Matt Seidel and then my friend Tony Tony
Mhm.
Donati, helping me out and really toughening me up. I'd get out my truck and ugh, he'd squish me, chop me, slam me. So they put me through the ringer off the bat, and but that's what I really like. I like the physicality. I like the athleticism. I'm not saying I'm the best by any means, but I can hang, baby, and that's what I really like to do. I like to get in there and mix it up a little bit.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. Well, what do you think of the current state of wrestling and overall the aspects of it all? There's so many different outlets. Obviously, WWE is the big kahuna and everything to that effect. But then you have now like the WEID program and the independents they're really kind of reaching out to all the independent promotions in certain aspects like that. What do you think of the overall state of wrestling right now?
It's the biggest it's ever been. It blows my mind. I've been watching it since I was a kid, and of course during the Attitude Era it didn't get any bigger than that, but it has. It's gone even more global, more mainstream, and then thus in turn making a bunch of other companies where people can work and more people into it. So I think this is one of the best times of the industry because there's so much going on. There's so many things happening, and it has a lot of eyes on it right now. A lot of eyes.
And the indie shows are crazy. When I broke in the business in the '80s, indie shows were unheard of. Now there's several in each state, and some of them are really successful. And I'm not saying GCW is an indie show; they're a fucking company. CCW is a company; they're not an indie show. What is there's several big ones. MLW, man,
Yeah, there's a lot going up right now.
AEW is big because they got billions of dollars behind them, and they put out a really good deal. But WWE, man, 2 WrestleManias, thousands of dollars for ringside. And back to the independent shows, it's crazy. I'm working almost every weekend somewhere in the United States on these. I hate to call them indie shows because they're really not. The AIW show out of Cleveland, John Thorne, they draw big, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, no doubt about it too. Alex, I also wanted to ask you too. Obviously, pairing up with Fonzie and everything like that. What has Fonzie kind of taught you, and what have you learned from Fonzie in a lot of ways?
To relax and be cool, man. Like the Fonz, baby.
And treat it like a shoot.
Yeah, just treat it like a shoe. Because it is, baby.
Heck yeah, nice.
Yeah,
Now,
we do
Fonzie,
good together.
yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Standing next to a guy that has this much storied history and him recognizing you kind of relaxes you a little bit. It's like, okay, something's going on, something's happening. So it's been a blessing and an honor to meet this man. And there's not one thing he hasn't done and seen in his business from what I gather from looking at all these priceless, I don't know what you want to call artifacts, pieces from 45 years. It's just absolutely insane. I get to
I've
sit here
been
and
around
listen
a
to
long time, and I
get to
know
listen to
talent, man. I've been around talent my whole career, and not just in managing in ECW, but refereeing for 25 years. Uh, it was crazy, and he fits right into the business. Perfect, perfect.
Well,
He's
Fonzie,
tested for it.
who does he remind you of when you see him in the ring, and from a persona standpoint and from a style
I
standpoint? Is
don't
there
know.
any?
He's got his own, but Buzz Sawyer, type like that, badass shoot guy, Perry Saturn kind of, but he's got his own way, but he's just a tough guy.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. That's great. Also, coming up, is there any? I obviously people get asked, wrestlers get asked this all the time. But do you have certain dream matches that you would like to go up against? Who would you like to face,
Oh,
Alex?
that's a great question for
Yeah.
the body. Yeah.
I don't really have like a set guy I'm gunning after. Uh,
Hmm.
I just really want to be wrestling good wrestlers and I wrestle everybody, because that's how you get your name around and stuff like that. So I don't really have like a dream opponent per se because there's too many to name. If I name one guy, I'd feel bad for not naming this guy. But
Yeah.
right now, the sky's the limit.
No doubt. No doubt. All right. This is another kind of question too, in the same realm in certain ways. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling? If you had to pick four people,
Oh God, just four.
just four.
Okay, the one, oh my gosh.
And it doesn't have to be star wise. It's just your own
Just
personal
my
Mount.
personal favorites.
Yeah, your own
Maybe I'll be
personal.
kind of sure. I don't know, like, so I guess I'll dip into like I'm also just naming names. Like it'll be basically from WWE, WWF, and ECW. Of course, my favorites were, looking back at it now, like a huge fan of Stone Cold Steve Austin. I think he's going to be up there. I do kind of channel him a little bit. I feel like in the ring, I try to at least.
Yeah, that
Try
makes
to be
sense.
aggressive and intense like him when he wrestles. So Stone Cold, definitely on there. I gotta say Rob Van Dam. He was one of my favorites when I watched him as a kid. So
Hell
Rob
yeah.
Van Dam's up there. I dare I say Mike Awesome. Mike Awesome was my
Nice.
favorite too, because he was
Nice.
just so gnarly to me when he came out, screaming at the camera, power bombing people over the top rope, splashing people for his size. So I liked him a lot. I don't know if I put him in my top. Then I have to go with Mick Foley, probably a big influence when his Have a Nice Day book came out. I went and grabbed it as a kid, wrote it, read it in a week. So Mick Foley probably was a big influence as well. So maybe those four.
I like it. Those are what the man.
Very Saturday Hardcore Holly. There's a lot. There's a lot. There's a plethora
A
of
plethora.
badass wrestlers.
I know it's hard to choose those four, isn't it? All right, so we're about the same age. I got to ask you this question too. Did you play wrestling video games as a kid? And if you did, what were your favorite ones?
Hell yeah. Well, I started out with, like real old school. There was what was it? It was before all the THQ ones. It was like WF Warzone
Yes.
and then WF
Attitude.
Attitude.
Yep.
And then my friends had WCW NWO World Tour, of course.
Yep.
Then WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania No Mercy. Those were the big ones. Especially when I was backyard wrestling, we'd turn that on and just kill each other with it. So those are my top. I'd say WrestleMania 2000, WrestleMania or WWF WrestleMania 2000, and WF No Mercy will probably.
Oh man, yep. Those are right my wheelhouse. Yeah,
I got a few of them on the PlayStation, but really those are the ones that are fond memories to me.
No doubt, no doubt. Yep.
I
Big.
played the new one recently at somebody's house. It was cool as hell.
I haven't played it yet. The
2025. It
2025.
was absolutely amazing.
How crazy is it too? Like you can just basically like make yourself to a T on there a lot of the times. Like I see
in rings and arenas, and
oh my gosh, yeah.
Just the way it looks, and it's next level. It's crazy what they've done.
Oh my god, yeah. It's wild. We got to make Fonzie on there too.
Of course.
Make Fonzie on there. Cool. As far as anything else goes, what else? What promotions and stuff have you just specifically worked for CCW? Have you kind of been out and about a little bit more too, or are you just?
I've also stayed a couple of times in the past 4 years. I've kind of just gone up and down Florida, wrestling shows around here. Past year CCW. So I think it's time to fly, and I'm trying to spread my wings, as my friend Fabu would say.
Yeah,
but, basically just wrestling up and down Florida from Miami to Panama City.
Another question: what if you're giving recommendations to people trying to get into the business at this juncture? Obviously, you're at a different age, but like, what kind of advice would you give to somebody that's kind of new to it and wanting to get into it a little bit?
Well, it is it's a tough business. It's full of some of the toughest guys I've ever met in my entire life, and it's. I don't want to call it a grind because it makes it sound bad, it makes it sound like work, because it's not, but it kind of is. You just got to stick with it. You're always going to have setbacks. You're always going to be disappointed off the bat, but something will come along and make you feel on top of the world. So it's a mental game as long as a physical game. So you got to keep your body in shape. I do that by going to the gym, keeping, eating right, and then just sticking with it and staying positive, being cool, learning how to, navigate your way around the locker rooms as well. Absolutely. But just have fun and enjoy the ride, because really, I've always considered life and pro wrestling. There's no end destination. It's just the journey is like the experience that you're getting. That's the XP that your soul's absorbing and the stories that you're making. So just enjoy it, have fun. So like you said, take the business seriously and yourself not seriously. So.
That's a great way to put it.
Try to adhere by that very well. You know what I'm saying? Because
yep,
it's my motto.
I love it. Take the business seriously, but don't take yourself seriously. That's such a great motto. That's a great life motto in general, too, I think, you know?
Yeah, they mirror each other, really.
Yep.
In a strange, crazy way, because pro wrestling is one of the most unique businesses there is, I believe. But it's all the same. When it comes to progressing and doing that.
Well, what's been your most surreal story so far in wrestling in your career? Starting off.
Probably my most surreal story, probably standing in Fonzie's office doing this interview with you. I don't know. I don't want to say I'm not sentimental, and sometimes I move so fast in my own head that I don't even stop and look around and see what I've done or what's going on or what's next, because I'm always looking for what's next or something like that, and then I'll get a text from my friends in Little Rock that they're, oh my God, that's crazy, what you're doing with that, what? And it's just kind of norm to me now, and I step back and be like, okay, yeah, this is vastly different. This is exactly what I wanted to be doing, and I sometimes I can't believe that it's working out and that it's doing it, but I feel like it's just, that's my story and this is the way it's supposed to be. And even though I got started late, this is how it's supposed to happen. This is just my story and I'm just going to go that way, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, did you
So,
have
so,
any
so I did
naysayers?
it. What's
Yeah.
that?
Did you have any naysayers coming in like, hey, you probably shouldn't be doing this at this age? Or did you have a
No,
good support system coming in?
not really at all. When we moving down here, my grandmother passed away and we were about to fix up her house and just move in there. And that's what the time COVID was happening. And I
Hmm.
think I lost my mind a little bit. I think everyone did, and just started thinking that the possibilities are endless. There's no rules anymore, basically. So I started kind of planting the seeds to move down here. And I thought my parents would not really want me to sell the house, my grandma's house that my dad grew up in. And I was in the backyard with them. And I said, Dad, what do you think about selling the house? And I moved down to Florida and go to pro wrestling school. And he looked at me and he said, it's your life. You do what you want. And when he said that, that was all the confidence I needed to do it. So I've had a lot of, no one's ever really questioned my age or getting into it or anything at all. So uh, it's hard to kind of balance work life, family life, training, wrestling. So it's a big crazy thing, but not really any naysayers, to be honest with you. No.
That's great. Yeah. And it's kind of cool too, because you think about people that get in at a later age. I mean, obviously the I guess the keystone of it, or the big figure, is DDP. He got in
That's
it
a
at the age,
DVD, yeah.
yep, 35. At the age of 35, he just started doing it. And look at,
My friends have compared me to that too, because they know that he got into it late. He was kind of always involved in the business and got into it when he did. So yeah, it's a huge inspirational story. And I love watching the DDP stuff. It looks like he's really doing very positive things, for everybody, and what he's done is very cool. So everyone's doing the diamond cutter these days too, and that was sick as shit back in the day too. So
oh my
big,
God.
big props to DDP. And if I could have a career like DDP, I would be tickled. So
Absolutely. Hey, I'm sure the DDPY would help out prolong the career a little bit too,
I should get into DDP yoga. Just a tad
Heck,
bit more flexible.
that's it. That's it, man. Absolutely. No, it's pretty darn neat. Bubba gave us $5. Shout out to Bubba. Thanks for the $5. And thanks for this comment too. He absolutely says the manager of champions, Bill Fonzie Alfonso, in the body. It doesn't get better than that, Daddy. So there we go.
That might be my buddy Bubba. He's a security. He's the head of security at CCW. Just got out of the hospital. Has been had a real bad flu and some stuff. But that's my boy Bubba. So a shout out to you, Daddy. And also, can I give a shout out to Ruda Entertainment, who
Yes.
that in Las Vegas they presented me with this Van Dam's belt, 2-year television ECW belt from Ruda Entertainment. Was a gift to me. So I'm going to be bringing this out with me to the show in Morristown, New Jersey this Saturday. And I'm going to be bringing it to the Big Bruiser Brody May 16th, May 16th and 17th in St. Louis at the Hilton. You guys can check that out. So I have this belt with me and some other really cool stuff.
Absolutely. Hell yeah, Fonzie. Alex, how can people follow you, get in touch with you, anything to that effect? What do you want to plug on here?
Just I'm on X, Alex Horvath, my name. On Instagram though, that's where I'm most active, is Alex the Body HK. That's where I put most of my stories, most of my stuff. And that's what I.
Yeah, so if you want to book us, Daddy, and the thousands of people that are watching tonight, all you super promoters, if you want to book Fonzie and the Body, Daddy, just get a hold of us. We're not hard to find.
Got the email or the Instagram.
Hell yeah, Daddy.
Hell yeah, hell yeah! I'll be sure to share those links too in the video once I post this again.
Thanks,
and,
Dominic.
We'll get the word out about it for sure. But it's awesome to have you on here, Alex. We'll have to get you back on here and get some thoughts on the current state of the business and more stuff coming up.
I'd love to.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, cool. If anybody, let's see if there's any more questions on here. I thought I saw a couple good ones on here. Oh, Triple E is saying that, Alex, we got to get you up against my brother Marcus. He just started wrestling as well. He's actually
your brother Marcus. That'd be great.
Yeah, right. So he started late too, Alex. He started at the age of 38. So he's been wrestling for about a year now too. So up in IWC. So be cool to get you guys connected.
Yeah, see if you can make that happen. Get him booked. I'll come be his manager.
We'll go up there
against Don in the main event.
That's it. That's it.
Manager.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, you got me, Daddy. I'm with the body.
Right. I'm saying Dominic will be his brother.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I could be Marcus's. There we go. Oh man. Fonzie, you'd have to put me through a table though, I think.
That's not a problem.
You know how to do it. You know how to do it. Cool. And Jem the Don says, dang, ECW new metal, skateboarding, baseball. This guy has the same childhood as me. So how about that? Jem the Don says that.
Oh, nice. Nice.
You're already making connections, Alex.
Product of the 90s, you know.
He's an American, Daddy.
That's it. You're pure 90s, man. That's it.
Mr. 1999 new metal.
That's it. Oh, that's another good moniker you can have, Mr. 1999.
Throughout the dope. It'd be cool.
Yep.
X.
And no doubt about it. Well, cool. This has been a lot of fun. Fonzie, is there anything else you want to get over here before we close this out?
No, thanks. If you guys want to check out Dark Side of the Ring, the new episode with Billy Jack, I'm on that and narrating a little bit. They give me some time. That's pretty cool. And the thing this weekend and Saturday in Morristown, New Jersey. It's right outside of Newark, New Jersey. It's going to be great. A bunch of my 90s superstar friends. And of course, the big thing that can't wait is the Big Bruiser Brody deal in St. Louis, May 7th, 16th, and 17th. I'll be there with all my friends, and we're going to auction off some of these shirts the cage match with Lex Luger and Fonzie and Bruiser Brody. Epic story. Anyway, Daddy, I'm cool, man.
Heck yeah, you are cool, Fonzie. No doubt about that.
Baby.
Yep, absolutely. And Alex, thanks for joining us this week and giving us some insight about you and your career and starting off. And hope to see you down the road here soon. You know,
I'd love to. Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, all right, guys, like I said, be sure to like, share, subscribe, rvdtv.com. Be sure to follow Alex on Instagram and on X. I'll be sure to share that information too in the details below. And Fonzie, we'll do this again. Do you want to go does Wednesday or Thursday work better for you every week?
I like Wednesday because Thursday I'm getting ready to leave for Friday. Usually I leave Friday mornings early. Like this Friday morning, I'm going to New Jersey. I leave my house at 5 a.m. to catch my 7:30 flight.
Damn.
Crazy. But Wednesdays are perfect for me.
So every other Wednesday, guys, be on the lookout. Fonzie and I will get together again and we'll chat a little bit more about what Fonzie's up to.
Yeah, we're building an audience and we're sports entertainment. I love to entertain and I'm really cool. So can I say goodnight to you guys?
Yes, absolutely. Do Fonzie.
All right, this is Bill Fonzie Alfonso and the Body saying so long from the Sunshine State.
Yeah.